It's always these women that feel like they got something to prove to the world and men that are the ones that are the most miserable.
Really reckless to be suggesting that people should have children when you now know in this country there's this affordability crisis, and for a two-person household, a married household, you need over $400,000 for childcare.
The fact that we keep putting this on women, that their only worth in society, politics, policies, is if they produce a baby or have a husband, is the stupidest, most old-fashioned thing. We have come too far.
We have come too far. Give me $1,000 for things I never said. I never said your only worth in society is if you pump out babies like a baby-making machine. They have to lie in order to make their point.
All right, let's be honest. The cost of living isn't just high, it's exhausting. If you've been leaning on your credit cards lately just to cover basics like groceries, gas, and utility bills, you're essentially paying a survival tax, and that's 20% interest or more. Why keep handing your hard-earned paycheck to the big banks when you can keep it in your own family? My friends at American Financing have a better way. They're helping homeowners tap into their equity to pay off high-interest debt with mortgage rates currently in the 5s. On average, American Financing is saving their customers $800 a month. That's nearly $10,000 a year back in your pocket. It's not just a loan. It's a total financial reset. It takes just 10 minutes to find out what you could save. There are no upfront fees, no obligations to talk to a salary-based mortgage consultant. Here's the kicker. Start today, and you can even delay 2 mortgage payments. American Financing, America's home for home loans. 866-889-8010. That's 866-889-8010 or AmericanFinancing.net/Tatum. These stew heads are literally upset because a conservative woman said that women should have more children and be women. Listen to these broken, childless, some of them are probably in terrible marriages. These women here talk about the topic. Roll the clip.
The Conservative Political Action Conference, known as CPAC, wrapped up this weekend, and conservative activist Isabel Brown had a message for her fellow Gen Z women.
Shout out to Isabel.
Who reportedly are the least likely group in America to get married and have kids. But I want you to see this clip.
If you're not encouraging your children to grow up and have the courage to get married and have kids, more kids than they can afford before they think they're ready, it is high time to start. It is these choices, like deleting our dating apps and quitting birth control pills and saying I do at the altar, that ultimately trickle down into the political policies that we will see save our country.
Okay.
Time out. Childless cat ladies, the only people that have a problem with what she said. Only thing I would critique about what Isabel Brown said is I hate the phraseology. I get what she means, but I hate the phraseology of have more kids than you can afford. Please don't have more kids than you can afford. Please don't have more kids than you think you can afford. What she's saying is that don't allow fear to hold you back from being fruitful like God has called you to. I just want to make sure that when I say these terms, I'm very clear that don't get so overzealous to say, I'm going to have a bunch of kids. Some of y'all shouldn't be having that many kids because you can't take care of them, you can't love them, and you damaged and you broken. You ain't even in a good relationship with somebody. I don't believe people should be having kids out of wedlock either. Within the confines of marriage, make sure you create a stable environment that you can have kids, where it's conducive to have kids in that environment. So you can give them a good life. You can be patient with them. You don't have to put them through a stressful life where their cortisol levels are high, and your kids are all messed up, and they grow up and be messed up adults because you weren't ready to have kids in the first place, and you had 5 of them, and you're miserable, and you're going to have a divorce because you and your partner have not even developed a relationship together. So get married, spend time with your person, build memories with your person, build at least a foundation where you two are stable, building in the right direction, and then you can have as many children as you can. Please don't buy into the talking points of have as many as you can, even if you can't afford them. That's what's wrong now. People can't afford them on food stamps. Anyway, let's get to, I don't care what she say. Let's get to the other ladies. Because she don't say nothing, make no sense. Roll it.
My ultimate beef with this is that it wraps a woman's worth up in her ovaries in a way that for too long has happened. The whole women's movement was not about bucking the trend of staying at home or loving tradition. It was giving women a choice to do what they wanted. And that's what this is too. Marriage, children, it's a choice. And by the way,
but be responsible for God's
No, but
sakes.
be responsible. Yeah. But the other thing is they act like people are sitting around just saying, yeah, no, I'm good. Most women I know, and some don't, but most women wanted to have children. They don't have them for other reasons. Most women I know, if they had a great candidate or a partner, might want to be married. Maybe they don't. The fact that we keep putting this on women, that their only worth in society, politics, policies, is if they produce a baby or have a husband, is the stupidest, most old-fashioned thing. We have come too far. The world has over 8 billion people. We no longer need to force people to procreate and pump out babies. We have arrived here. Women now and girls now have a choice.
Let me say, this is why I know her husband is miserable. You can't be a woman that think like that. Her response is emotional. Her response is not logical. It's emotional. This woman is still living in that space where I'm a boss bae and you're obstructing me by me being a feminine woman. Let me just explain to women this. What do you think you were doing before all of this technology? How were people living? You had to birth them, dummy. This woman right here is saying the same thing. Your mama gave birth to you. Everybody you know came out of a woman's vagina. Can I keep it real? Everybody you know came from a woman. How do you think we get great people? How do you think we get Elon Musk? Women gotta be having babies. So you think this? I think this is gonna be the. I get so upset with women when I hear women talk like this. You guys have piggybacked off of the bloodshed and death of men to then now say, oh, it's my turn to now have access to everything that you have access to, but we didn't die for this. We want to piggyback off of your access and say, now it's our time to arrive. Now we should be CEOs. Humble yourself. I think women should have a choice, but don't get mad when you choose things that leave you single and broken, and don't think that it's somebody else's problem when you got ran through while you were young and now you old and nobody wants you. Don't blame nobody. It's not the men's fault. It's not society's fault. You did not covet your superpowers. Being a woman is a superpower. God gave you the only ability to recreate human beings, and you hold the key in your hand. But some of y'all too busy wanting to be like a man that you just waste your talents. You waste your ability. And then you don't learn until you miserable in a marriage or you old and nobody wants you. Women got to start really thinking it's not equal to be men and women. Men age like fine wine. Women age like milk. I'm just being honest. It ain't my fault. But you know that not one woman on that show will do that show without makeup on. Why? Because they don't look that young and that cute without putting a whole fake face on. They are getting older. They're looking tired. They're looking wrinkly. They're going through menopause. They have a whole bunch of other stuff that's going on. And it's nothing against women. It's just that how about you embrace that as a woman, that's what happens, and quit trying to waste your whole life trying to be like a man. There's a lot of things that women are doing right now they got no business doing. And a lot of women are learning and regretting it later in life that I wish I wouldn't have chased the corporate ladder and I would have stayed at home and loved and hugged my kids every day. And it's always these women that feel like they got something to prove to the world and men that are the ones that are the most miserable. Ana Navarra, put it on there.
Where is the call to responsibility for the men who help make these children, right? I don't know why it's always people lecturing women what they have to do.
Y'all don't want to take
or
accountability.
not to do.
That's what it is.
Bottom line, if you're not paying my bills, you don't get to tell me what I do with my uterus.
But you let them hit, though, and they don't pay your bills. Y'all, this is the thing that be bothering me about women sometimes. And they go, and not all y'all, because the ones watching me is perfect. Y'all Mother Mary, okay? You ain't done nothing wrong in your life. You're not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about that other girl on somebody else's live stream. But these women go, you don't get to tell me who I am. And men always do this, and men always do this. And if you don't pay my bills, but Tony, Tyrone, and Larry didn't pay your bills, and they were laying up in your bed. But you want this guy to pay your bills. Make your mind up, sis. Is it about bills or not? Anyway, why don't you hold men accountable? How about you women hold women accountable? You always diverting to the men. Y'all the only ones that can give birth. Y'all the only ones that give access to sex. What are you talking about? Men don't get nothing if a woman don't accept it. Unless in a rare case somebody's taking it from you without your consent. But women are the ones that give it that give the access. Men are just available. If women across the country said, I'm not sleeping with no more men for the next 30 days, every man in the country is on a drought. No, not every man, because women don't like every man. They only like the top tier guys. So the top tier guys is the ones hitting all of them. All of them dry up. Women give access, but there's a responsibility with that access. There's a level of honor that you should be holding with access. Every time things happen, you shouldn't say, what about the man? What about the man? What about the man? What are you doing? You got a kid with that guy you don't like because you let him hit. It's not, but what he only said yes to you letting him do it. And I don't know, man. I'm ranting on this one. I get so irritated with women today. It's rare that you get, I'm glad I found my wife. I get so irritated with women today. They won't take accountability for nothing. It's the man's fault. It's the man's fault. You are in control, to be quite honest, when it comes to men. If you treat a man right, he'll do anything you want him to do. My husband don't clean up. It's certain things that you can say to your husband, he'll do anything you want him to do. You don't do your part. You think he's an animal and he's supposed to be on autopilot. You can get him to do what you want him to do. There's a lady I follow, incredible woman. She's incredible. She was incredible. I follow her. I listen to her every day. She's 100% right, and my wife is the epitome, or at least the congruency of who that lady is. That lady tells the difference between you tell a man, "Can you wash the dishes?" and versus, "Honey, could you please do the dishes?" There's a difference. Take out the trash. "Sweetheart, can you take the trash out?" That's the difference. That little difference in a man's mind tells a whole nother story. And there's also other things you can do. Some of y'all be holding, and I got to wait to my other part of the stream to talk about that. But some of y'all, if you just do twinkle, twinkle, little star, he'll do whatever you want him to do. I'm talking about your husband. I'm not talking about Tony down the street because he want to twinkle star with you and your friend. I'm talking about the one that decided to marry you and commit to you for life.